They didn't know where they was going, but they knew where they was, wasn't it?
On our phones, in the process of getting home, looking like standing stones, out there on our own, we're everyday robots in control. Process of being sold, driving in adjacent cars, till you press restart.
They didn't know where they was going, but they knew where they was, wasn't it?
Everyday robots just touch thumbs, swimming in lingo they become, stricken in a status scene. One more vacancy for everyday robots getting old. When our lips are cold, looking like standing stones, out there on our own, little robots in ringback in the process of getting home.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 56 of the Raedar, the episode where I'm talking about AI music, generative AI music. Now, this is an interesting episode. Sometimes I start episodes by saying, this is a very special episode of the Raedar, but I don't know if special is the right word, because I just have a lot of feelings about this subject, and I think some people also have the same feelings. And normally my episodes are lighthearted, and there will be some lightheartedness because I'm just a cheeky boy inside and out. But I feel like AI and generative AI and music in AI is a topic that I haven't really seen many people cover, especially at Riot Radio. I don't think, to my knowledge, anyone at Riot has made an episode about AI since, the AI boom that started 2 years ago. And I thought, I'm quoting other people here, but I have been called the music guy. And so it felt right for me to tackle a topic like this. And it's an idea I've had for a while, and even right now as the episode's beginning, I'm still a little shaken and I'm still a little not sure how to tackle this episode, although I have a script written and I have notes, because there's so many different ways I want to tackle this. Do I tackle this with no opinion, completely objective? Do I tackle this with subjectivity? Do I just info dump on you and make you come up with your own opinions? I wasn't really sure, and to be honest with you, like I said, I still don't fully know. But I do want to make some disclaimers here and define some things before I get into anything here. For example, all of the music in today's episode, aside from the very beginning song that we just played you and the closer, are by AI. They are AI music. This is on purpose. I did not generate the music that is playing for you. The songs that I will be playing for you will become more relevant in the context of what I'll be talking about soon. Also worth mentioning, no AI has been used to make this episode as well, important mentioning. And yeah, I think that basically covers some disclaimers other than defining it. What do I mean by AI? What do I mean by artificial intelligence? Well, to me, I've always been aware of AI. AI has kind of always been a funny little thing, hasn't it? I mean, everyone knows what AI is and was before the big boom. And technically, and please do not clip me here, I don't mind AI. Stop. I don't mind AI in general. Thank you. Thank you. Justin's putting a thumbs up. He's like, I'm not going to clip you, man. That's fine. Thank you, Justin. But I'm okay with AI. I think AI is great. I think artificial intelligence, awesome. I think it's great when it's used in a factory or it's used to cure cancer or it's used in all these different contexts. I think AI in a vacuum, incredible. Literally, let's define it. Artificial intelligence, why wouldn't? It's a robot. It's just robots, and robots are cool. That's good. I'm fine with that if it makes people's lives easier. Now, what I'm not totally kosher with, what I don't love, what I kind of loathe, is generative AI, at least in its current form. Again, technically, big asterisk, generative AI, technically, not necessarily a bad idea. Let's say I take 10 pieces. Let's say I went and I said, hey, I want to make a fake episode of the Raedar. And I use all my AI and I have my own AI computer program and I have my own plant and I have my own technology and I literally do all of it and I build everything from the ground up and I generate my own episode of the Raedar using all of the episodes I've ever done at Riot Radio. And I'm like using my own water that I'm using and making sure it's clean. You see where this episode's going. There's not a problem with that, in my opinion. Where the problems lie is in the subtext. Where the problems lie is in the fine print. Because generative AI, kind of bad for a lot of different reasons. And I'm eager to get into that. I do want to talk a little bit about, later I'll be talking about generative AI in general. Honestly, this episode's going to be a little all over the place. But you know what? That makes it more human. Because I was tempted, and I'm going to be completely transparent here. There have been episodes where I've been like, how do I organize this? How do I organize this into 3 parts? How do I do this in an hour? And I have used ChatGPT, but that was years ago. And every time I do, it's just a gross, gross feeling. It's a bad taste in my mouth. I don't like using it. And every time I do, I feel like a piece of me dies a little bit. So for the last like a year, maybe 2 years, I have not used it at all because it just feels nasty. Quinn, don't do that for the show. I mean, I haven't used it for the show. Using AI to generate concepts is different. Where was I going here? But let's start with what I mean by generative AI. Why don't we define AI a little bit? Let's do a little bit of history, a little history lesson. In 1997, an artificial intelligence program named Experiments in Musical Intelligence, aka EMI, appeared to outperform a human composer at the task of composing a piece of music to imitate the style of Bach. EMI would later become the basis for a more sophisticated algorithm called Emily Howell, named for its creator. Then there would be some later updates in AI. In 2010, IAMS became the first AI to produce a fragment of original contemporary classical music. In its own style. IAMS Opus 1, located at the Universidad de la Malaga, or Malaga University in Spain, the computer can generate a fully original piece in a variety of musical styles. In August 2019, a large data set consisting of 12,197 MIDI songs, each with their own lyrics and melodies, was created to investigate the feasibility of neural melody generation from lyrics using a deep conditional LSTM-GAN method. That's a whole lot of nonsense. But where that kind of leads us to is the 2020s, post-COVID, the big AI boom. I'm pretty sure everyone, at least in the studio, everyone listening, is familiar with AI slop, is familiar with the concept of writing in a prompt, writing in, hey, AI, hey, Google, hey, chat, hey, whatever. Can you write me a song that sounds like this, with this theme about this? And it would spit something out at you, and it would give you that kind of concept. And that's what this episode's about. The modern definition of generative AI, the modern version of artificial intelligence, that if I said AI slop, you would know what I mean. I think that basically defines... you know what's so funny is because this episode started early, I have no idea how I'm doing time-wise. I'm like, wow, how am I looking? Oh, the show hasn't started yet. Yes, it has. Because it's 10:57 a.m. for those who are watching later on. Now, generative AI early on for music, it was exciting, I think. At least the concept of being able to make music out of nothing and being able to generate images out of nothing, that's kind of an exciting prospect. There's novelty to that. I love novelty. It's kind of funny to go, what would it look like if my friend had an eye patch on? And I'm guilty of it. I thought it was cool at first. But then I became more informed and I learned what was happening and how this worked, which is very important to speculate on. It's very important to look at. How does it work exactly? How does it, if I say, hey, chat, hey, whatever, make me a song that is a classic rock song or a country song, for example, make me a country song in the style of contemporary country. What it does, if you don't know, let me take a sip here because I'm yapping a lot. That's the whole point of a radio show. Generative AI, the way it works is it doesn't actually know what something is. Generative AI doesn't really think. It has an idea of what something is by basing it off of other things, by a common denominator. If I said, generate an image of a red ball, it doesn't really know what ball means or what red means, but it does have the technological power to go look through the internet for a red ball. It'll look up red, it'll look up ball, it'll look up red ball, look up ball red. It'll go through everything on Google that remotely looks like red ball. It'll go through everything on Getty Images, any images, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, any image that they could possibly get their greedy little paws on that looks like red ball, or at least is described with the words red ball, will generate sort of the medium of it, the sort of everything combined. I really hope they're not setting up booths for like an AI camp, because that would be really funny, because they're setting up booths outside. It would generate this image using that technology by quickly analyzing what a red ball might look like. And that's, if you don't know anything about anything, that's not necessarily a bad thing until you take in the fact that, like I said, it takes in sources from everywhere. Did I consent to my images being used to generate what a red ball is? No. I don't know anyone who has. In fact, I don't know a single person who has ever said, yeah, you can use my stuff to train AI. No, get your hands off that, And so that's been a big problem, is that AI will take from artists without their permission, without consent, without declared allowance, which is not good, but that's how AI works. It takes pieces of little things without really knowing what it is and generates what might be that thing. There's actually a very good YouTube video I watched. This might be outdated now because, for all I know, AI might be perfect now. But there's a video I watched where a guy could not get an AI generated image of a wine glass that was half full. He kept putting half full wine glass that is half full of wine in a wine glass, and it would just be full. Because if we stop and think for a moment about how I just described how AI works, how many images are there of wine glasses that are half full versus entirely full? Very, very slim. There's millions of full wine glass images. There's probably like a few of half full ones. And the fact that so many outnumber the other, it creates an inaccurate image. So not only is it stealing from artists, it's inaccurate. It's not good. It's not correct. And it doesn't generate the right image. Mind you, it's getting better. It's getting smarter. I'm sure if I went to ChatGPT right now and I went generate me an empty wine glass or half full wine glass, it could do it like nothing because it's going that fast. But there are improvements to be made, and some people are willing to risk that. I really should have started the show at 11 so I knew how to keep time, because I have no idea how long it's been. But we'll see. Maybe this will be the 15 minutes. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Quinn. Okay, great. I think we've all got a handle of what generative AI is right now. One more thing I will mention during this before the break is how much power it takes. AI takes an exhaustive amount of electricity. Insane amount of electricity. Think of how much you think it is, and it's more than that. There are entire fortresses and facilities being built just to house computers to power AI. And those are being built around towns that didn't say, hey, yeah, please build that here. And because all of this water is going into the cooling of this facility, none of the water is going to the people who live in the houses nearby. And some of the water pressure is being decreased, and some of the water is being dirtied. And these people didn't agree with this, and it's taking down the what's the word? The quality of the land. It's just kind of ruining the environment. And then in some cases, some people are being charged for how much water intake the surrounding town is taking in when they're not even doing it. It's the AI. And all for what? So I can see Goku in Squid Game? I just saw Justin throw his fist up at this AI context I just gave. I really hope that was ironic, Justin, or I'm going to generate you a black eye. That's pretty good. That's a good threat. I'm just joking. Please, no. Right, Radio, I love you. I have a couple more months. That's not a threat. That was in the script. I do want to mention one more thing before the music break, and that's AI music again in particular. I realize the whole episode's kind of been about AI so far, but AI music, so what? It doesn't sound very good. People don't actually listen to AI music, do they? Uh-oh. Yes, they do, in fact. I haven't experienced this firsthand because my entire Spotify algorithm is just bands that start with BEA and nothing else apparently, and it's all classic rock and stuff like that. And so I haven't seen a lot of fake music, but I've seen a lot of tweets, I've seen a lot of posts about people being like, am I the only one who puts my Spotify on shuffle and suddenly I'm surrounded by AI, or my Discover Weekly is AI? Because this concept of generative music has started to pollute streaming services like Suno AI and Udio, which allow you to just put in a prompt and generate music. It's the same way that it's done with pictures. Generate me a country song. Okay. Toby Keith, Luke Holmes, Willie Nelson, country music. Okay, this is what I think country music is. None of those guys agreed. One of them's dead, but none of those guys agreed to saying, hey, yeah, you can use my country music to train AI. Or it might even, if you do country song, it's going to figure out what song is too. So if you're a musician, odds are your music has been used to train AI without your knowledge. And that's not good. But what does that sound like? That's a great question. And I'm sorry you're going to have to hear, because I didn't even listen to the song all the way through. I felt disgusting putting this in the episode. I talked to Quinn about it, and Quinn's like, you have to put AI in the episode. And I'm like, I know I don't want to. And Quinn's like, you gotta. And I went, okay. And so there's AI in this episode. I didn't make it, pre-existing. We're going to play you a song that is AI. We're actually going to play two songs. We're playing you Walk My Walk by Breaking Dust and Dust on the Wind by the Velvet Underground. What is with AI and dust? That's scary foreshadowing. I want to start by telling you, Walk My Walk by Breaking Dust is important to mention because Walk My Walk went to number 1 on the Billboard Country Digital Song Sales chart. An AI song. No human element at all. The instruments are AI, the singing is AI, the lyrics were written by AI, it's all AI. And then the second song there, Dust on the Wind, is by the Velvet Sundown, a group that pretended to be AI, but is actually not a group at all, is AI, and are supposedly a classic rock band. And actually, their description disgusts me. Let me read you what their description is on Spotify here. There's also pictures of the band, the Velvet Sundown, and they're also AI, which is like just a hat on a hat. Their Spotify description is, the Velvet Sundown is a synthetic music project guided by human creative direction and composed, voiced, and visualized with the support of artificial intelligence. This isn't a trick, it's a mirror, an ongoing artist provocation designed to challenge the boundaries of authorship, identity, and the future of music itself in the age of AI. Get a job. Anyway, coming up after the music break, we'll be talking about some examples, some further examples of AI, and how people have responded to it. Please don't forget that you can follow us on social media at the DCSA Media Hub. You can follow the show on Instagram at the Raedar Live RAE. You can follow me on Instagram at AlexRA. I'm not crying. I just have a little snot in my throat. AI couldn't have snot in its throat. Or maybe it can. I don't know anymore. In the meantime, here is Walk My Walk by Breaking Dust, live from the Media Hub on riotradio.ca.
Been beat down, but I don't stay low. Got mud on my jeans, still ready to go. Every scar's a story that I survived. I've been through hell, but I'm still alive. They said, slow down, boy, don't go too fast. But I ain't never been one to live in the past. I keep moving forward, never looking back, with a worn out hat and a 6-string strap. You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't changing my tone, ain't changing my song. I was born this way, been loud too long. You can hate my style, you can roll your eyes, but I ain't slowing down, I was born to rise. So kick them rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. I've lost some friends, made a few new foes, but that's just life, that's how it goes. I ain't bending over just to please a crowd. If I fall down, I'll fall down proud. I talk my truth, I live my way. Ain't nobody gonna take my say. This road's been rough, but I learned the trade. It's sweat, soul, and dues I paid. You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't changing my tone, ain't changing my song. I was born this way, been loud too long. You can hate my style, you can roll your eyes, but I ain't slowing down, I was born to rise. So kick them rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Let the haters talk, let the rumors fly. I ain't got time to wonder why. The good Lord knows the man I am, and I'll die standing tall with a mic in my hand. You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't selling my soul for a seat at your table. I'm rough, I'm raw, I'm wild, I'm able. You can hate my fire, but you can't kill my spark. I'm a midnight flame burning through the dark. So kick them rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. You can kick rocks. You can kick rocks. You can kick rocks. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk.
Dust on the wind, boots on the ground, smoke in the sky, no peace found. Rivers run red, the drums roll slow. Tell me, brother, where do we go? Raise your hand, don't look away. Sing out loud, make them pay. March for peace, not for pride. guitars cry out, bullets fly. Mama prays while young men die. Ashes fall on sacred land. We still got time to make a stand. Raise your hand, don't look away. Sing out loud, make them pay. March for peace, not for pride. Let that flag turn with the tide. Smoke will clear, truth won't bend. Let the song fight till the end.
Ew. Ew. Yucky. Who wants a palate cleanser? I'm being told to move. I'm being told I didn't make the audition as a new host of the Radar. I'm being told I'm replaced with AI. No. Who here likes Drake? Raise your hand if you like Drake. Who's a Drake fan? Isn't Drake just the best if you don't know anything about him? Well, guess what, guys? Have you heard of my favorite Drake song, Heart on My Sleeve? Who knows Heart on My Sleeve by Drake? We don't know Heart on My Sleeve. It was a demo that was leaked to SoundCloud and trended on TikTok for a while. Let me read you some of the lyrics from Heart on My Sleeve. Did you know it features The Weeknd? I came in with my ex like, so, I can't say that. Wow. Bumping Justin Bieber, the fever ain't left. She know what she need. I need as she blessed. Give it to my best. I got my heart on my sleeve with a knife in my back. What's with that, eh? 21, I love him. That's my brother. Metro made the beat, so you know it's gonna slap. Talking to a diva, yeah, she on my nerves. You know, like the usual Drake melodrama. Well, guess what, guys? You could not possibly have seen this coming. But that's AI. That's right. This Drake song that was leaked called Heart on My Sleeve, which to be honest with you, I don't know a lot about Drake, but Heart on My Sleeve is the most made up Drake song name I've ever heard in my life. It's an AI song, and it was very, very popular for a while because people thought it was a genuine demo by Drake that was leaked featuring The Weeknd when it was not exactly that at all. The lyrics are AI, the voices are AI. I was thinking about playing the song in the episode, but I actually downloaded the MP3 for it, but I didn't. Upon reading the lyrics out loud, I realized why that's explicit. Actually, maybe it's not. I don't know, but there are explicit lyrics in the song, so I couldn't read all of them out, and I couldn't play the song. But also, I kind of didn't want to. But this song was generative AI entirely, and was by someone named Ghostwriter977, who is apparently a ghostwriter for a lot of musicians in I'll say Hollywood, but a lot of musicians in the music industry, and never came out and said it. It does start with a Metro Boomin producer tag, like an authentic Metro Boomin producer tag, but that's actually how that got taken down, because it does actually contain copyrighted material explicitly, and so Metro Boomin got it taken down. And it's kind of funny because the song isn't on Spotify anymore. It was, and it was very popular. A lot of people liked it. Apparently, according to Billboard, the song may have earned over $10,000 across all platforms. It racked up 600,000 streams on Spotify and over 275,000 views on YouTube and 15 million on TikTok. This fake Drake, if I may, garnered this many views and this many listens. Any views for Drake is too many in my opinion, but fake Drake, that's a step too far. It's just not a fun time. That's an example of AI, of an AI generated song. One thing I do want to mention is someone named Catherine Jane. Oh, Catherine Jane. Catherine Jane. She's AI. Let's not. I'm not gonna do that bit again. I think that bit's funny. Every AI video has that. Let's start hypothetically in the middle of this AI video about a random artist. You're not going to expect where it's going. Catherine Jane is AI. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'll backtrack a bit. I watched a video about AI by a guy named Mike the Snare. He makes great videos about music, great music video essayist, and he's got like a couple on AI. And he talked about Catherine Jane. And Catherine Jane is ridiculous. Catherine Jane, we played you Velvet Sundown. We played you the country song. Those suck. Those are bad. Those are bad songs. But this is beyond satire. Catherine Jane is an interesting character because, well, first of all, she has an album that came out. She has an album that came out this year called The Life of a Fangirl. Why don't I show you the album cover to The Life of a Fangirl? Tell me if this looks familiar. Does that remind anyone of anything? Catherine Jane doesn't just make pop songs. She has an album that came out. It's 52 minutes, and the lyrics to these songs are unique to say the least, because the way that Mike the Snare, the YouTuber, found out about Catherine is because someone had watched an Anthony Fantano video and linked this song on Spotify. And there's a song by her called Anthony Fantano Knows Nothing About Art. And it's literally an AI generated diss track about Anthony Fantano. And you're thinking, wow, that's peculiar, but that's Anthony Oh, she made one on Mike the Snare. I didn't know that. Sorry, this is real. I'm just realizing she made one on Mike the Snare. But so she's doing it on influencers. That's kind of interesting, or big names. That's not necessarily true, because she has a song. She has another album. Tell me if this album cover looks familiar to you as well. Sorry. Does that look familiar? It's called Sleepless Nights. She did it first. And on Sleepless Nights, she has a song called, I need to find it because it's so funny. She has songs like After Midnight, Olivia and Her Fans Are Done, Still on Top. Okay, here, how about this one? There's no one more jobless than Miss Beyonce Slay. And there's no one more jobless than Miss Beyonce Slay. Now you're wondering, who is Miss Beyonce Slay? Let me find the lyrics here. Miss Beyonce Slay is not an influencer. Miss Beyonce Slay is not a TikToker. Miss Beyonce Slay is a Stan Twitter account, a random Stan Twitter account with nothing to their name other than tweets. So someone was so angry at a Twitter account that they went and used their fake AI artist to generate a diss track. How is your grown for being on Stan Twitter? You're an outcast left out of your family dinner. So you find all your validation for those other losers online while your baby sits there starving on the verge of dying. Bad mother I see, just like your fave with blue ivy. Apple don't far from the tree, like fave baby. When you're in the jobless contest and your opponent is Miss Beyonce Slay. You know you, because there is no way. You know you lost. She's allergic to a job. She is slop, talking blank like she on top. She a chop baby is crying, but she's glued to Twitter page. There's no one more jobless than Miss Beyonce Slay. What are you talking about? Where are we? What's going on? What circle of hell is this? What's happening? This is an AI-generated diss track by an anonymous artist pretending to be a teen girl, stealing album covers from Taylor Swift, which, by the way, she's pro Taylor Swift, as proven by track 2 of Sleepless Nights, Taylor Outsold Your Faves, my favorite song. What a ridiculous character. And if you want more information on her, check out Mike the Snare's video, because the more I learn about her, the more I am blown away. Because also, I read you some of the fine lyrics. There are certain lyrics here that are flat out just saying the most horrendous, racist, misogynistic, transphobic accusations of all time. And it's like, what's going on here? You can't make a song about being jobless when you're doing this. Oh my God. That's one example. I need a drink of water. That's just an absurd thing. Another thing I feel like is important to mention is the use of AI deepfake voices, because listen, at the end of the day, when you're doing a job that's manual labor that a robot could replace, don't you just want to come home and listen to Freddie Mercury sing Smells Like Teen Spirit? I need to know, what does it sound like when Kurt Cobain is replaced by another dead guy? What does it sound like when my favorite YouTuber sings a song I've never heard of? What are we doing? What is this? Why are we here? Just to suffer? There's a slight amusement to be had, just a little bit of like, oh, there's novelty in it. And then you learn everything else about it. And it's like, what are we doing here? Why are we making this slop? Why are we doing this? You've probably seen it on TikTok. There's a TikToker named There I Ruined It, who used to make funny, like, what if I just made a YouTube poop, but it's music? And then he started using generative AI and people were mad. And he was like, but it's art. No, it's not. You're using, I don't care if you're actually singing it and then it just changed your voice to the guy. Get an impressionist or do a bad impression. That's fun. That's human. There's novelty to that. And you know what's worse? You know what's worse? You're thinking, well, you know what? People just want money. Maybe that's a big thing with generative AI. It's greed. People want to take the easy way out because why pay artists when you can just use AI? Sure. But you know who else isn't happy about generative AI in music? The music industry. Because now people are using copyrighted content to make their own music without consent. Don't you think that Universal wants some of that money, or Sony, or any of these artists? Well, guess what? Have you ever heard of whatchamacallit? That's not what it's called. I don't have the note here. Where is it? Is This What We Want? Is This What We Want? Excuse me, is another album. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not AI. It was released on February 25th, 2025. And if you went and streamed it right now, you'd be surprised if you didn't know anything about it because, and I can't believe I'm talking about something like this for the second time ever on my show, but it's just silence. This is the second time I've done this. If I had a nickel. But Is This What We Want is 47 minutes and 7 seconds of silence. And it was released by a bunch of artists together in order to protest the idea of using AI to train, using their music to train AI. And it's got 12 tracks. They're all silence, but the tracks are called The British Government Must Not Legalize Music Theft to Benefit AI Companies. And you're thinking, okay, so it's probably some no-names. Nuh-uh, sister. We've got Kate Bush, Damon Albarn, Annie Lennox, Pet Shop Boys, Billy Ocean, The Clash, Ed O'Brien, Jamiroquai, Mystery Jets, Hans Zimmer, Imogen Heap, Cat Stevens, The Kings, Singers, 16, John Rutter, James McMillan, and Paul McCartney. Oh yeah, Quinn's shaking her head. All of these English artists are all displeased by the AI artists stealing this. So who is for this? Who's happy about this? Losers. I'll say that right now. Losers are happy about this. People with no jobs and too much spare time are stealing artists' music, stealing from big companies that could be making money off of this, and from artists, independent artists who could be making money off of this. So why are we here? What's going on? It's a ridiculous situation. But yeah, that's worth mentioning that came out. Elton John is also on it, by the way. Is This What We Want? Also worth mentioning. I believe that's all I have for this segment. How much time do we have left, if I can ask? 37 minutes. Okay. I think we could go to a music break. I feel like I could just yap for the last bit. I got a lot to say, if that's not obvious. Coming up after the music break, we'll be talking about what I think and some of your opinions on AI. In the meantime, please don't forget that you can follow us on social media at the DCSA Media Hub. You can follow this show on Instagram at AlexR. No, you can't. You can follow the show on Instagram at the Raedar Live RAE. You know the deal. In the meantime, oh man, you know what I always thought when I was listening to Nirvana? I wish it sounded like it was a different decade. I wish it would sound like the 80s and it wasn't by a person. Here is Smells Like Teen Spirit by, and this is true, Fake Music, on Spotify at least. And then followed up by How Was I Supposed to Know by Zanya Monet, which is AI, duh. Live from the Media Hub on riotradio.ca.
taste, oh yeah, I guess it makes me smile. I found it hard, it's hard to find, oh well, whatever, never mind. Hello, 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 how low? Hello, 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 how low? Hello, 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 how low? Hello, hello, hello. With the lights out, it's less dangerous. Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us. A mulatto, an albino, a mosquito, my libido. A denial. A denial. A denial.
He didn't walk me down no stairs. Didn't warn me about them boys who wouldn't care. Didn't tell me what a real man sounds like. So I fell for the ones that lied just right. He never pulled my chair or checked my friends. Never showed me what to lose or what to defend. So I chased love with an open wound, looking for something I was never introduced to. Mama did her best, but she can't teach what it feels like when a father speaks. So I took every I love you too deep, even when they only meant it for a week. How was I supposed to know what love looked like when daddy never showed me what felt right? How was I supposed to set the bar when I ain't never seen no man fight for my heart? Now I'm learning through heartbreak, piece by piece, trying to be soft in a world that's been hard on me. I ain't bitter, just broken in places you can't see. How was I supposed to know if he ain't teach me? I thought pain was part of being chosen. If he stayed, then the hurt was worth holding. I called settling a sign of love, 'cause I ain't know a man should lift me up. No, you're beautiful just 'cause I'm his. No, I got you when life don't make sense. So I let bare minimum feel like gold, 'cause I ain't know I deserve more to hold. Mama raised a queen with a wounded crown, taught me strength, but I still let love drag me down. 'Cause daddy never gave me that love one-on-one, so I mistook lust for the real one. How was I supposed to know what love looked like when daddy never showed me what felt right? How was I supposed to set the bar when I ain't never seen no man fight for my heart? Now I'm learning through heartbreak, piece by piece, trying to be soft in a world that's been hard on me. I ain't bitter, just broken in places you can't see. How was I supposed to know if he ain't teach me? I needed arms that protected, not ones that neglected. Needed truth without games, real love with no pain. So now I relearn what I missed, unpacking daddy wounds from every kiss. But I promise one day I'll be free of the love that never covered me. How was I supposed to know what love looked like when my first man left before I learned to fight? Now I raise my standards like prayers to the sky for the girl I was who needed to know why. still stumble, but now I see the kind of love that was meant for me. And I'll teach my daughter what he couldn't show, so she'll know.
Powerful stuff. Man, I wonder where she was vocally trained. I wonder she's singing about her dad not being there for her in her youth. Wow. Welcome back to the Raedar, the episode about generative AI music. That artist has 1 million monthly listeners. Uh-oh. That's not good. But yeah, she has 1 million monthly listeners. That was Zanya Monet. That song has 10 million streams. I'm so sad. That's not good. AI is not good. That's kind of the story of this episode. I'm anti-AI. I even though in the beginning of the episode I said I'm loosely okay with it. I'm okay with it, but if your definition I'm not okay with. You know what I mean? Let me make this clear. 4 years into being on Riot Radio, do not use my stuff for AI. Please do not use I do not give permission for the Raedar or Album Roulette or anything I've ever made to be used to be training AI. That's not going to make a difference, but it's good to get a statement out there. I can't speak for other people on Riot Radio, but if something's being trained on Riot Radio stuff, I don't think anyone's confirmed on any show here that they give permission to use AI or for AI to be trained on their show. So that's not good. If you can, use tools, use Photoshop, use PixArt, make it bad, make it crappy. That's fun. There are some pretty nasty logos I've seen in my lifetime from different programs I've been in and different things I've done. And I saw those logos and I thought, wow, that's a really bad logo. Like, you should be better at visual arts. And then now people are using AI. And you know what? I kind of miss those crappy logos. Those crappy logos were endearing because someone made it. Someone clicked and dragged an image in. Why that image? Why did you pick that one? What did you search? Why that one? Like, that's just such a human nature to that. And I do want to touch on human nature a little bit here with a note I have, which sometimes I think about what I'm about to say and I think, wow, I sound smart by saying this, but it's just something I read. The 20th century art historian Erwin Panofsky found 3 levels of meaning to art. The first level is the primary, so literally what you see. If you saw a picture of a red ball, then you would see a red ball. That is all the information you have. A ball that is red, it is there. Then the second level is conventional, so references. A red ball could be a reference to Rudolph's nose. A red ball could be a reference to dodgeball. A red ball, I can't think of other references for red ball because I'm improvising, but if you could think of ones, let me know. And those are references. And then the third layer is intrinsic or subconscious. Why is the ball red? Is red the guy's favorite color? Did he grow up around balls that were red? What is the story behind it? Why this color? Why this ball? It's the subconscious class difference that goes into that AI cannot replicate. Great quote. The intrinsic level, as well as being addictive, communicates things that the creator of the image or design may not have consciously been thinking about during its creation. Through what we know as the world and linking the objects or codes in the work, this level allows us to reveal the underlying basic attitude of a nation, a period, a class, a religious or philosophical pursuit, unconsciously qualified by one personality and condensed into one work. Your art is yours, which is the beautiful thing. Whether you realize it or not, subconsciously, you're putting so much of yourself into what you do. Even in minute details. Every piece of art, every single thing is political, and it's yours because it's fueled by the subconscious decisions you make in what you make, if that makes sense. But that's my thoughts on AI. What are your thoughts on AI? Let's see some real responses to my story, because I try to be impartial, so I just put, what do you think of AI music? Here are the replies I got in chronological order. My friend Logan says, abomination. My friend Caitlin says, bad. Quinn sends a picture of a thumbs down. You can hardly tell. Megan says, I hate it. Why not use a real instrument? Music is mainly creative more than anything. Siraj says, why is it even a thing? And Leslie says, boo, twice. Correct. I agree. I'm winded. But isn't it a joy to be winded? Thank God I'm winded. Because what a human thing. What a human thing to create. Every logo of this show has either been made by me or by Quinn. So thank God for Quinn. It's so convenient to have a girlfriend who's good at art because I don't want to use AI and I still wouldn't. So it's such a beautiful human thing to be able to do. So keep making art, keep doing things. If you need an image generated, ask an art student, ask a friend, Ask your girlfriend, even if she doesn't draw. I'm just very lucky. As a palate cleanser, I'd like to close with a song that isn't AI. I'm going to close with a song called Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. It's by Otis Redding. It's from the 60s. And I'm going to share a very, very quick anecdote about this song that I feel like is a human touch that AI literally could not come up with. And is anyone, raise your hand if you're familiar with the song Sitting on the Dock of the Bay? Anyone? Okay, great. Sitting on the Dock of the Bay is a very, very simple, beautiful song about sitting on the dock of the bay. AI could generate that. What AI could technically not generate is towards the end of the song, one of the most famous parts is the whistling, is Otis Redding's beautiful whistle. I was about to imitate it. That probably wouldn't sound very good. That whistle was actually not supposed to stay in that song. The whistle was a placeholder because Otis was going to come back to the studio and write some lyrics that he didn't know what he wanted yet. Otis, unfortunately, passed away before he could finish the song. And so the whistling, the placeholder, stayed in the song. And that was a lot of people's favorite parts of the song, and a song that is legendary now. And if AI generated this song, it wouldn't know that. There wouldn't be a story behind it. And it's the stories behind the music and behind the art that makes art what it is, that justifies it. Not only the meaning behind it, but the meaning we find in it. And that's what this show is all about. And that's what music is about to me. That's the end of our show today. I look forward to seeing you back here next week. It will be a lot more lighthearted. Please don't forget that you can follow us on social media at the DCSA Media Hub. You can follow me on Instagram at AlexRRA. You can follow the show on Instagram and Twitter at the Raedar Live, also RAE. In the meantime, here is Sitting on the Dock of the Bay by Otis Redding, playing us out live from the Media Hub on riotradio.ca.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, and then I'll watch them roll away again. Yeah, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay, 'cause I've had nothing to live for, and look like nothing's gonna come my way. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Look like nothing's gonna change, everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. Listen, sitting here resting my bones, and this loneliness won't leave me alone. Listen, 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. Now I'm just gonna sit at the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time.